Fierce fighting. The best fighting. Ah! Let's train! Now we come to the mount. The mount is the most dominant position to deliver your offensive assault on your man. It is the objective of all ground fighters to get into the mount. That is the optimum place to be. There's 3 types of mounts, and we'll get into it right now. Okay, here we are. We have our man down. First mount I'm going to go over with you is the side mount. It is the position, and you'll be able to control your man the most of any of the mounts with this one. To apply this, your man is down with your leg closest to the arm. It's under the armpit, as you see here, under the armpit, close in, tight. The other leg is in close up against his thigh, in tight. Legs are spread. The more I spread my leg, the more my base is stronger, unable to be turned. So I keep my base tight, my chest on him, holding him down, elbow in on the ear, holding him tightly, other elbow in tight on the hip, right on the hip, keeping him tight. At the same time, I'm pulling my elbows together, I'm pushing my knees towards the elbow. This is how I keep it tight. So it's like this, I'm pulling it in, pushing my knees, that's keeping my mount tight and holding my man down. Here it is. And to even keep it even tighter and have full control of my man, I get my hand underneath the shoulder blade and just hold him right here, keeping everything in tight, distributing my weight, watching my weight is center, keeping down, not leaning too forward or you'll get rolled, not leaning too far back, which would give him room to get out, but right on top of him, square, tight, straight down. Being aware all the time of your opponent, your opponent is not just going to lie there, he's going to be moving around. When he moves, you follow him. Keep tight, follow him. Don't come up, keep down low, body down, weight down, hands tight, just following him around wherever he's maybe going, keeping it tight. This is the side mount. Once again, let's review these points on the side mount. It's very important to get this down correctly because this is the most, like I said, dominant position to control your man. And before you can apply any submission or before you want to deliver any strikes on your opponent, you want to have control. Without control, you will not be able to lock him out. And if you attempt to deliver a strike, he will move and you will miss the strike. So here we go. Once again, leg in, leg close to the leg, in on towards right here, this part of the body, right in the hip flexor area. The other leg, remember, is under the armpit, not over the shoulder, because this will give him a free hand to throw you off of him and to possibly bridge and roll you. So it is under the armpit. If you can get all the way under the shoulder, that's even more control. Now, legs spread, weight back. If my weight is forward, my mistake, you can see I don't have my chest, my center of gravity and my pressure is coming actually over him. It's not holding him down. That's the reason the chest is to chest. It's holding and pushing my man down. For the added pressure, I spread my legs. Once again, elbow in on the ear, other elbow, same place your knee is on the other side, right on the hip flexor, right by the buttocks, holding him down, keeping him tight. head down so you don't get hit. Keep your head down. And if your opponent moves, you just follow your opponent, keeping it tight. Just following him around the ground. That is the side mount. Now continue with the mount, the straight up on top of the mount. You're basically sitting on your opponent. Okay, you're keeping your weight down. The legs are right here. When you apply this is your situation. When you apply the mount, push forward your base so you don't get rolled. Weight down, legs slide back underneath towards his ankles. Pushing with my hips. Same movement with the hips. Down, up, holding him down. So you can see the pressure is already, keeping air. It's already giving me advantage because he's already having a hard time breathing. And this is just from showing you folks the moves. Keeping your base down and flat. Control all the time. Being aware of your opponent's movements as to not being rolled. Remember, think of a table with 4 legs. If you take away any of the legs, the table will wobble and roll towards the side. So always keeping flat and always staying down. Legs wide, pushing out. As you can see, he won't be able to move because he has his leg. He can't push up with his legs. The pressure of my legs are pushing it out. So he's unable to get an arch off of that. His lower back is stuck to the ground because of the pressure. He's unable to move. I have full control of my opponent. Okay, there's actually two ways to ride this mount. You ride it up high, under the elbows, pinching the knees in, weight down. Remember, keeping your base. This is a situation to use this type of mount is against the individual who would be much larger than you, maybe with a big waist that you couldn't sit down on him here. A much larger opponent, someone approximately 300 pounds or more. You want to ride him high underneath the armpits. Now, if the individual is approximately your same size or smaller, this is when you ride him back low in this way. Remember, keeping your legs under his legs, pressure down. Table's got all of its legs. Okay, once again, knees under the armpits. Being aware not to be rolled. Keeping your weight tight, down. The advantage of this, you could also ride him this way, smothering him, keeping him tight, giving him no movement. This is a time you can think of an offensive move to do on the opponent. You could be taking a break. There's many reasons to be in this situation. But once again, putting your stomach into his mouth area, keeping your knees pinched under the armpits tight. Being aware of not being rolled in this situation. Okay, once again, it's important to remember a table with its 4 legs. You guys probably obviously picked up that my front 2 hands are the front legs. Now, I just want to just remind you that the back legs are the other 2 legs for the table. Therefore, we're going to hook it to keep it tight. Remember to hook. See the hook taking place with the ankle, bringing the foot down and locking it on his shin. That's the hook. That keeps his leg. If I don't put that hook in, he's able to move his leg around. Move your leg. But with the hook in, his leg is stuck. My leg is wherever his leg is. The base is tight. Okay, you will find yourself in sometimes in this situation in a fight. You're on your man in this situation. We call this the front mount. It's an okay position to be in. You can't really deliver too many strikes to your opponent, but your opponent is in a very defensive position as far as the mentality thinking is concerned. He cannot come forward with any type of offensive assault towards you. He needs to first get his positioning. Knowing that he cannot deliver an assault to me is when I can take a rest. Now remember, when I say rest, I don't mean we're going to go to sleep. I mean approximately 7 to 12 seconds of just relaxing your muscles and letting it recover. That's what I talk about when I'm saying rest. So here we are. Here's how you do this to fully control your man. Chest to chest, pushing down, and pushing his chest in this type of a motion, 45 degree. Keeping your elbows close to his armpits, not allowing him to move anywhere. Hands, being aware of him trying to come with the knees because he may try to strike knees. Don't be worried about these knees because even if he hits you with them, they won't do any damage because he'll be hitting you with the thigh area. So keeping your head down, bringing your knees tight between his ears, right across his ears, pinching his head together, tight. This is one way of riding it. This way is okay if he's not moving around too much and he's just kind of trying to scoot his hips out in that type of way. This is a good ride to do. Another way, if you want to put a lot of pressure on him, is to spread your legs on your toes, such as a wrestler would do, pushing with your toes into the chest and down, head down, and elbows in tight. Being aware of his movements and following him in whatever directions he goes. This is also a good transitional position, allowing me to do many offensive moves from as well. Now that we know the mounts, we know how to control the individual, I will show you some effective striking for each one of these positions. Once again, side mount, holding your individual, knees tight. It's not really a good idea to create a lot of space when striking. When you create space, it gives the individual, gives him less pressure and allows him to be able to move. If I came up to throw a strike, Sean could cover up, he has space, he could get away. He could probably put me in the guard, which is where I don't want to be. So therefore, my strikes will be strikes keeping my weight down, seeing a perfect opportunity for an elbow strike. He has no way to block it with his hand because my hand is over his shoulder. I'm tight on the other arm, so he has no movement in the other arm. Coming back, straightening my arm out, coming back in a up back motion, allowing you to strike with the back of the elbow, not with the tricep. Once again, it's the same thing as we said with the front mount. If he strikes me with the knee and he hits me with the thigh, there won't be any damage. It's the same thing. If I strike with the back of the tricep, there will be no damage. Therefore, I come with a back motion, exposing the back blade of the elbow. Aiming for target areas include temple and jaw. Coming down in the back motion. Also, there's an up elbow striking down in the face area. On the target area includes the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. Coming in the same way, straightening the arm up, coming back, down. Once again, down, down. Other strikes include a headbutt from this area. You want to deliver a headbutt to this opponent, you need to, with the other hand, come around, blocking the arm so he can't block your headbutt. If I don't block this hand and I come up for a headbutt and I come down, he's able to block it, therefore making it an ineffective strike. So I will have to first block the hand. As I block the hand, this hand comes around, holding the head down. As the head comes up in a one-piece motion, coming down as such, I come down, strike this area right here. This is the part of your head you want to use. You don't want to use this area. You don't want to use this area or this area. It's this area right here. So once again, block off the hand, come across, holding the head down. Another reason I'm holding his head down, because if I come for a headbutt, and he lifts up his head, I'll end up headbutting myself. Therefore, I keep the head down with my hand or with my forearm. You can even turn it, but remember, if you turn the head, the target area is this area of the face. So I like to keep it straight. Come down, up, down. Notice how I come down, tucking as a one piece and tucking the chin. That's a headbutt. Headbutt. So again, continuing strikes from the side mount position. I showed you how to throw an elbow. I showed you how to throw a headbutt. I warned you about not really throwing punches from this area because you will lose control. A very effective knee strike can be done from this also into the rib area. With the back leg, straighten it, Once again, just straighten your back leg, weight down. As I deliver the blow, I'm just pulling my knee straight into the lower floating rib on the same side. There it is. There it is. Once again, keeping control of the opponent. I'm not lifting my weight up. I'm not turning. I'm keeping my head tight. I'm keeping control. Knees are in. All I'm doing is straightening my leg out. That's all I'm doing, and coming across. And remember, when you throw the knee, you don't want to hit with the thigh. You don't want to hit with the thigh. You want to hit with the bone. So twist your knee up a little bit when you're pulling it in. Don't come down, come up. Once again, effective strike from the side mount is a knee strike to the lower floating rib. Target this area right here, which will possibly knock out his air, in some cases end the fight. Keeping your mount tight, knees tight, elbow tight, arm tight, head down, weight pushing straight, pressure on his chest. Back leg is the leg I want to strike with. Once again, I want to target this area right here of the floating ribs. Why? His arm is up. He has no way of blocking it. I have full control. I could do this move all day long if I wanted to. Here's how I apply it. Straighten the back leg. Once again. In on my side mount. Straighten my back leg. Coming forward with a slight upward motion. Targeting the floating ribs. Once again. Targeting the floating ribs. Effective strikes. Side mount. Okay, continuing from the mount position. Effective strike. To deliver a strike, once again, hooks in, weight down, keeping my table tight. As I come back, I tuck my chin, come down. Once again, back, tucking my chin, coming down. Back, chin tuck, down. Notice when I deliver a headbutt, I'm not delivering my headbutt in this manner. Very ineffective, not as much damage will occur. When I come down as one piece, I'm coming down with a majority of my weight. I'm coming down with the power of my back. Chin is tucked, protecting my nose and eye area. Coming down. Once again, hooks in, base strong, back. As I go back, I'm arching slightly, tucking my chin, down with the headbutt. Another fine point you might not realize about this is when I have my hooks in, the pressure is being delivered through the belly button, through my belly area, lower belly area, and my hips by pushing forward and down. As I'm pushing forward and down, I'm locking my legs. This is keeping him in control, keeping the pressure down, not allowing him to have a lot of mobility as I deliver the headbutt. Very similar to the headbutt from this situation on the top mount, we can deliver a very, very effective elbow. And remember, elbows is one of the hardest bones in the body. Excellent, excellent strategy. Therefore, same thing, hooks are in on the lower legs, trapping around the shin. As I come back, pushing back. As I push back, you notice only my upper body is moving. My lower hips are still stuck to his body at all times. So I'm just coming up and such. Now when I come up, I'm coming up with whichever elbow you want to strike with is coming up at the same time. And coming down, you're tucking your elbow in. You're coming with your elbow bent. You want to aim with this area of your elbow and this area right here. So as I come up, I tuck it. Coming down with my shoulder. My power is coming from my hips turning. Same as a stand-up. My hips is where my power is coming from. This is one piece coming down. One piece. Just as a headbutt is one piece, you throw your elbow with one piece, keeping it stout and solid. You don't want to throw your elbows like this. You can do elbows like that to sting a man, but if you want to cause serious damage, you throw your elbows It's one piece. You can also come down with your elbow as well as across. One of the most repetition blows you'll be able to throw from this area would be just your straight punch. Be careful when you throw this, because the more you throw, the more off balance, the less pressure you have on an individual. That's why I choose to throw mine maybe one or two at the most, but there are times when you just want to finish the fight. So if I'm gonna throw punches on him, I want to sit up under the armpits and sitting with my weight on his chest, pinching my knees in, being aware of the roll, being aware of him pushing me up and trying to make me fall forward, being aware of him trying to push my knees away, being aware of all these things while I'm throwing my punches at the same time. I'm not just sitting here and sitting on a guy and punching him. I'm sitting here thinking, what's his defensive strategy going to be while I'm throwing these blows? So I'm under control at the whole time. And remember to relax when you're throwing your punches, making them more effective. So here we are again. Legs under the armpits, pinching in as I sit back, pushing my weight down. As I push my weight down, this now changes my knee position from the top of my knee now to just straight flat on the whole flat part, pinching my knees in. Now I'm able to throw my punches. When I throw my blows, there's a multitude of different styles. You can throw uppercuts, hooks, straight down. But just remember when you do these to keep everything closing and tight. Another little trick I learned is when you're throwing blows from this position, you don't want to throw high, visible punches. You want everything to be low and not seen. Continuing to the front mount, once again, there's some very effective strikes that you can do at this position. Keeping control of the individual, very similar to the knee to the ribs as I did with the side mount. I can knee the head, leg back, coming across, straight. The difference with this kick is I'm coming forward and in. I'm not striking with straight force of the knee. I'm striking forward, and as a Muay Thai kick is, I'm coming in with it, with this part of the knee. Not with this, but with this, actually this part. So it would be leg back, in, there it is. Once again. I could also plant my hand up in the same time. Very quick move. You need to deliver it very quickly, holding his hand down as I push up, coming up with the knee, down in the face, and covering him up quickly. Therefore, he cannot get away. So you come up, deliver your blow, come back down. All in one motion. As I'm pushing up, knowing that me releasing the pressure, he will quickly move. Knowing this, therefore, when I deliver this move, I come up quickly, one motion, down, and cover back up. Put your hand down. Once again, as I push up with the knee, I'm still keeping this left side tight, knee and hand tight, coming in up with the knee, down. Target area includes the side of the face. Some other effective strikes, rib shots, coming back. Notice I keep my weight on the individual at all times. One reason I also do this is because when you release pressure, the opponent is able to feel this, and this will make him move. Whereas if I keep my pressure on him at all times, he's very unaware of what I am attempting to do. Keeping my weight down, back with the hand, inward motion. Either way, either with a straight fist or turning it in. Target areas include the whole side of the wrist, ribs, floating ribs area right here. Straight back, once again. Coming straight back, weight still staying down on him. Coming in, I'm throwing this blow with my shoulder as I twist at the same time. Continuing with the mount. I didn't list this as one of the 3 mounts because this is not a mount you attempt yourself to get into. This is a mount you usually end up in. It's called a half mount, and the reason is only half of my body is mounted while the other half is in between his legs, which we call the guard. It is in between the guard. from this position, I don't have very good control of him, therefore, I don't want to release pressure, and I don't want to let him be able to scoot and get away from me. So I keep my knee in, close from here, close to his side, weight down, very, very similar to the front mount. So, elbow down, either under the head or posting. With this hand, I block his elbow, allowing him not to throw any punches to me, keeping my head tight. This is the side mount position. At this position, being aware of him scooting his hips out, I want to deliver my strike. A perfect strike, feeling my head right next to his head, would be a headbutt. Blocking this hand already, I know he can't block the headbutt. I come up. As I come up, releasing my weight, I'm holding the head down. Once again, the reason I'm holding the head down is so he doesn't block it and I hit with myself. As I come up, I come down. Come down. As you can see, I am not headbutting like this. I come down with one piece. Once again, I'm holding his face down. I'm holding his head down so he can't come up with his head. Also, so he can't block it with his hand. Headbutt. All right, let's review leg angles on this again. Remember, the reason it is the half mount is because only half of my body is mounted, while yet the other back, as you can see, he has my back leg, right leg trapped in the guard position, making it a half guard. It is not a mount you want to put yourself in, as I stated before. It is a position you usually end up finding yourself in, especially if the bottom person is a very experienced grappler. So from here, I want to stay tight with my knee in to the rib, weight down, not allowing him to get this leg out. I don't want him, what he wants to do is get this leg out, his object is get his leg out, and put both of my legs, put me between both of his legs. Once again, he wants to get his knee out, his leg out, and put me between his legs. That is the reason that I keep this leg in close like this, not allowing him to get that knee out. Now I know the only way he can escape is this way because of the pressure. Knowing this, I'm aware of this when I deliver my blows, etc. And this concludes the mount. As you can see in fierce fighting, the mount is a very dominant and very devastating position. You can deliver many of your techniques and you can keep control of your opponent. Practice it, learn it, study it, make it a reflex.